Here I am. I'm here, and I've got a video. Oh my God!
Oh, you look exactly like you.
I do. It's weird how
Yes.
that works. Let's see if I can get myself lit. And now, this is the kind of interview that you just got to do with a vest on.
Well, I'm vested.
David Wright, I'm delighted to talk. I'm delighted to talk to you today about that book, Local Talent, which incredibly you wrote. I want to start with the end, which is actually the beginning, because the last poem in the volume is the title poem, Local Talent, a poem that helps wrap up everything that we've seen before. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about the phrase, the way that the phrase works, local talent. I think local is relatively easy to see as you move through the volume. There, I want to ask you about the talent. So when you think about the talent in Local Talent, how are the different ways in which talent moves through this volume?
That's a really good question. I mean, the way I used to talk about it was my dad's phrase for talking about the people on the square in my hometown in Illinois. We would drive around drinking PBR and smoking cigarettes on the town square, and he would say, "Oh, look, the local talent is out." And clearly he was not praising the things at which they were talented, right? But obviously we think of it in terms of somebody that has an artistic capacity or is a ball player or those kinds of versions of talent. But I tend to think that we maybe overestimate some version of talent and underestimate others. And I think when you pair local with that, it's often, pejorative, like with my dad. But I think that in this case, there's more talent in more of these places that we live in than we realize. And talents that aren't always praised, talents of friendship, talents of being able to stick to things, talents of being able to sacrifice. So there's that kind of talent. And then through the book, there's the idea of those other kinds of talent. The great artist, musician is always living somewhere and practicing them in some place.
Or, that first poem where the great talent is the guy who can look at your nearly balding tires and looks at you and goes, "What were you thinking? You could have died."
Isn't it, though, a part of a talent, though, to find a way to live a life in the midst of some of the flaws that are unlikely to be fixed by tomorrow? And I think a poem is a way to say, what can I make out of this broken thing sometimes? And if that broken thing is a kind of rough-edged town in the middle of Illinois, or if broken thing is a relationship, or if that broken is language, there's ways to make something from that. And the book is trying to practice a little bit of that, I think, from time to time.
Across 6th Street, the local talent assembles themselves on their damp porch couches. From here, I see only their lighters, the face of a woman lit by her phone, and a half-dozen unextinguished butts on the lawn. In summer, they laugh and curse dinner to midnight, but during Advent, by 5:45, it's over. 2 men drive off in a questionable Pontiac. The rest vanish inside the scraped bare meth house held upright by weed vines. Next week, I am joining the Volunteer Messiah downtown. Motley crew of baritones and sopranos stretching our throats to cover the spare parts. We are the choir. We are also the small congregation. It takes all our talent to keep our candles and cigarettes lit in the Illinois wind, singeing the soft skin of our palms, cupped against the dark.